Okay, Keek, tell us about Super Bowl in Philly.
Okay, you guys. I feel like I always have some kind of story just because my whole life is just a story and they unravel and I have things to share.
I'm just so
My
curious.
life is a
like,
movie.
why are you of all people in Philadelphia
I know.
during the Super Bowl?
I know.
And
I
did
have
you
the
plan
same
that?
question.
What's your I just don't
Well,
get it.
So here's the thing. This is actually kind of a funny friend story. The short answer is I went to visit my friend Maddie because she lives there now. But she's a friend that I met when Elevation launched their Winston-Salem campus, which is like an hour and a half north of here.
Like the Salem witch trials?
No, not to get confused with that.
Okay.
Can see why you would think that, but no.
Honestly, randomly, I'm less interested.
Okay, so it was in the Salem.
Did they put
trials.
the church where they used to
burn the witches?
Burn the witches. Yes. Actually, it's called the Elevation. I can't even get that out. Yeah, I think I'd get sued.
Anyway.
Tomorrow she texts you, cut that.
Yeah,
I know. I'm waiting for it.
Hey,
already.
I might get fired over that. Anyway, we were on the greeter team together, kind of like thrown in, kind of like how you and I met, Case, just kind of randomly put together. But then we're like, oh, we kind of like get along. Anyways, became friends. Turns out we have a mutual friend, and we were in that friend's wedding.
Oh,
so, remained friends and all of that. I mean, she was another friend from Elevation, and so our circles were bound to meet. Anyway, she moved to Philly last summer, I think, really. And so during, I think it was like around fall time, I was like, oh, I want to come visit you. Haven't been to Philly since maybe 8th grade. We took a field trip to go see the Liberty Bell and the love sign, because like City of Brotherly Love.
Right.
So it was kind of cute. We also saw the Liberty Bell. She took me there again because I was like, you know what? Last time I went was 13 years old, and let me tell you, it was a little less exciting as a 29-year-old to wait in line and to see the Liberty Bell, see where America was founded. I saw where the Constitution was written.
Ooh.
That was
that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Wait, that's fun.
America.
Did you see the map on the back of it?
Did you get any lemons? Did you get any lemons?
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, I was like, honestly, Nick Cage was here, so that's all I need. I was like, I don't even care that George Washington.
I love that you called him Nick. I love that you called him Nick.
I know him
Nick C was here.
Nick C.
Nicky C.
Not even on a first name basis. We're on a nickname basis. Nickname.
Okay, move on.
I know. Gross. And mind you, I bought these tickets before the Eagles were going to be in the Super Bowl. So I will say it was a little crazy. Obviously, Super Bowl was this past Sunday and it was in New Orleans. But let me tell you one thing about Eagles fans. I don't think there was one half second that passed that we were just walking down the streets and it was go Birds, go Birds, go Birds.
There wasn't 1/2 second.
What wasn't one? Not even 1 second. 1/2 second. Like their fan base is quite amazing.
I have heard that.
Quite
so
intense.
That's really cool. I would have loved to see that.
Not super kind either. If you're the
you know what? A lot of times people confuse passion with
and anger.
Yeah, they confuse it. I mean,
aggression.
Yeah, but like,
yeah,
I get it. Like when you're passionate about something, you love something. Sometimes it makes you punch stuff. I don't know.
And
I don't know.
At the
Climb
end of the
poles.
Day, go Birds.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, go Birds. Well,
right.
that was an issue. I guess the last time they went to the Super Bowl but lost, which was a couple
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Some of the fans downtown would like climb poles and then someone like fell off and died or something, and it was it's gonna happen.
Classic behavior, you know?
Exactly. So what was funny, the whole weekend was really fun. It was really fun seeing her and doing all the things. But we went to it's called like City Center, which is like really their downtown, and literally everyone was prepping for game day because we went Saturday afternoon, and there were people like literally like putting oil on light poles just to like prepare so that. You know,
did they borrow Diddy's baby oil?
He has a couple thousand to spare. That was crazy, Kate.
That was funny.
So luckily I didn't see any of the chaos, but I did take off literally during like kickoff. So that was a little unfortunate.
Oh.
But the airport was like, I mean, obviously like crazy. Everybody's dressed up. The guy next to me, like waiting to get on the plane, was watching it. And I literally told him, like, can you take your headphones out so I can listen?
That's
like,
hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, but it was just like everyone knew that they wanted to watch, and it was a whole thing. So it was fun. When I did land in Charlotte, though, I did immediately Google Kendrick Lamar halftime show because I love halftime. So that was kind of fun.
You couldn't watch it live?
Well, no. I flew Frontier, so that's that. I might have. I literally.
How's your neck?
My neck and my back. They all hurt.
All of the down the line.
Mm-hmm. So I will not be doing that for a minute. But wait, what was the question?
You didn't watch it live.
Oh no, I did. Oh yes, 1 Frontier, 2. No, I don't have enough. I mean, I have enough storage, but I don't know how to do that. If I'm honest, to download the game, I like
download it live. Can you even do that?
Can you even do that? I don't know.
I don't
even know. I heard people yelling, so I guess somebody was watching it on the plane.
Must have been, but.
But anyways, that's my story. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Go Birds. Now I think I might be an Eagles fan. I think I kind of have to, by the way. I will say.
Who's the quarterback?
Jalen Hurts, and I will say thank you.
Who's the running back?
Oh, that I don't know.
Jason Kelce.
No. He retired.
I know.
What did he play? What was
he was
his?
a center.
Oh, okay.
He snapped the ball to the quarterback.
Okay, well, they're both beautiful men. But Jalen, I was a little bummed when I saw his fiance get on the field.
She's pretty.
And she's stunning. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It was like, Jalen, you're hot. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Also, wait. Oh, I have another story. And it's quick because this, I think, is just hilarious. And so my friend. So my friend Tori played college softball at the University of Oklahoma. And apparently,
okay, Boomer Sooner, geez.
Boomer Sooner, like she's
good.
She's good.
They literally have a
She's
dynasty
good.
there. They won like the past like 7 national championships. It's
and she was one of them.
That one. That's awesome.
Insane. So go Tori if you're listening. But apparently Jalen, before he like made it big, I guess I don't really know where he was probably in college.
He went to Oklahoma. Yeah, he was.
He went to Oklahoma.
He was a quarterback at Alabama. Lost a starting spot. Transferred to Oklahoma. Won a national championship over there at Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. So I'm not really sure where in that the story aligned, but she was working admissions, and he came in, like asked her where this building was. And I guess she was telling the story on her like close friends that she like walked him over to where he needed to, and he said that she looked really cute in a hat, and she said, well, it's just because I haven't like washed my hair in 5 days or something like that. And she literally was like, why did I say that?
That's amazing.
To this guy, and like now look at him, he's like a Super Bowl champion.
Maybe if she would have just been like, thanks, you look cute, like she could have been on the field. But instead she has dirty hair.
That she's put this on her close friend story, and now you're blasting it.
I know.
On your podcast.
Wait,
I love that.
So true. I mean, but it's a good story. I think she should have posted it. I mean, honestly, this girl, you should see me in her text. I mean, this is no shade to her. She knows she's a bad communicator, but it looks like I'm a desperate girlfriend. Like I have like 20 texts to her, and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're alive."
Oh, you're alive. Yeah.
That's
funny.
So just funny. She's like dead silent, and now all of a sudden this story. So it's a good story.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like, this man was kind of trying to flirt. You just said, I haven't showered.
Yeah. I'm actually really greasy.
I'm actually disgusting. He's like, you're hot. She's like, I don't know. I'm gross. Anyways, go Birds. And if you like the Chiefs, sorry.
Oh.
Hi guys, welcome back to the It's Been Forever podcast. It's the best day of the week. I was really hoping we would all become constructors right there. Boom.
Constructors?
Okay, I said that and then I was like, that's not right. That's not right. Conductors. That's what I meant.
constructors.
I knew.
I
Okay,
am a
I said it
construction
wrong.
worker, and I
I-
work in construction.
Okay, shut up.
Construction. Today I
That's-
had someone text me and say, I just laughed out loud at the gym at your laptop comment when I said, like, yeah, I used to say that too. And then I turned 10.
Yep. I know some of your comments lately have been like low-key like the most insane jabs you've ever said in
Sorry.
your life. But then I listened to it back and I'm like, that was kind of good. And also kind of true. So
Yeah.
keep them coming. Well, welcome back, you guys. I'm Kiara.
I'm Casey.
And I am Meredith.
Oh, okay. Well, we wanted to be different today.
I just wanted to one up you.
Well, we have an exciting February for you guys, really. We are doing this new series, if you will, if you must, for this short month. And it's going to be called Hot Seat. Because I couldn't come up with a more creative name. So it's just literally what it is.
Cue the flames.
Hot Seat. And today, you guys, we have Casey on the hot seat.
So basically, what we'll do is like whoever is not on the hot seat, we each have questions and we'll just kind of go back and forth and ask this person questions. So tonight is our lovely Casey Marie. I
It's
almost
me.
said Perez. Nitchies.
C. Marie Perez
Turn.
43 at gmail.com. That wasn't your email, but was it close?
Wait, kind of.
Weird. For real? Don't send her
Don't
an
email that.
Okay,
Don't email
actually,
that.
Don't email that. Edit that out. Edit that out.
Take it out. Take it out.
No, we're excited to be on the hot seat. Hopefully this will just be a fun segment to not only get to know us better, but maybe we'll have some surprises for the three of us. Maybe some things that we also don't know. So it's going to be fun. Buckle up. We took some of your submissions into consideration to ask Case. So I think Mir's going to kick it off. And it's going to be great.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really have a softball to ease into this. All of mine are kind of
You know what? It's the
I love
hot
it. That's
seat.
okay. It's the
Okay.
hot
There's
seat for a
no
reason.
way to warm up.
Okay. So
Slowly.
what is something you feel like you were meant to do, but you haven't done yet?
That's a really good question. Okay, thanks for asking. I have to remember that, like, it's not just gonna be like one and then I like can move on. It's like I'm gonna get hit hard.
You can say
which is good. No,
marinate in
which
it.
is good.
Well,
Um,
and if there are long gaps, it's okay if you like edit those out. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
yeah.
Because there probably will be. So you guys will get the good version of this. But either way, these girls have to sit into my silence and awkwardness. Okay.
Well, wait.
I love this question because it's so challenging, and you have to admit things that you really don't want to admit. I assume you asked this because you kind of know what I'm gonna say a little bit. I have talked and desired and wanted to pursue music in more of a career way, I guess, or in more of a, what's the word? I'll just say seriousness. For for as long as I can remember. Started with my YouTube channel back when I was 13.
Yeah. Come on now.
And my cover of Justin Bieber. And I've written a bunch of songs and done a ton of stuff, and like I have recording equipment and all of that good things. However, the execution of it in terms of it publicly getting released to anybody in the world besides that one video on YouTube has never happened. Every once in a while I'll like share some things with some friends, or like I have a really good friend at church. He's the worship pastor there, and we'll send stuff back and forth to each other because he also, you guys, I'm already taking my sweater off, and that's question number 1.
That's actually so funny. It's the hot seat for a reason.
And so he's, it's really nice to have a creative friend who is in kind of the same world that you can share things with, that you don't feel like that judgment, because it's really, really vulnerable to put that kind of stuff out there. But I think since that situation happened when I was a kid, I felt like embarrassed and I
Do you
feel
want to
like
share that situation?
Sure. And I have before, so if you've heard it, you can ignore me, but if you haven't, I started a YouTube channel and I uploaded a cover of me singing a Justin Bieber song from my world. And I posted on YouTube and I was really proud of it and I was so excited. I played piano in it and it was my upright piano that's out of key in my living room. And before then, I used to print off. I would type up the song that I really liked and I'd do chords and lyrics and I'd play all of these different songs. And I had a friend that we would do that together. She had a flute. She would play the flute. I would play the piano.
Aw.
And it was like, I felt like I had so much momentum and then that happened. And then I felt like I kind of lost all my momentum and I just like didn't really believe in myself. And it's probably been a continuation of not believing in myself, which is the reason why a lot of those things have started but have never completed and why you've never heard me do anything. The intro to our podcast is actually me like messing around and doing different things and recording it, and that kind of stuff for me, you guys, is literally so much fun. So honestly, me doing the jingle and putting that on there, terrifying. So scary to even do something like that.
And so many good comments on it. Like I've had so many people say how they love that.
Mm-hmm. And like and the thing is, like, I'm not someone who doesn't admit when they are gifted in something, because the truth is all of us have gifts. All of us should lean into those gifts, and that's why you have them. Like it's such a waste to do something really well and not share it with anyone. And as I'm saying that, I also need to listen to my own words, because it's honestly this embarrassment and it's this fear of failure of like, what if I do something and people like don't like it or nobody listens? Because that's what I mean. It's a piece of your art and you want people to enjoy your art and you want people to like feel like they resonate with it. And so I mean, it's kind of comparable to this podcast. We put our voices on here and we're super vulnerable.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm doing it with you guys, so I feel safe. Like if this ship goes down, at least we go down together. Yep. But also I feel so safe and so secure with you guys that I don't even care. Like nobody can be listening or everyone can be listening and I will still feel that same way. But when it's by yourself, it's like there's nobody to fall back on. It's just you. So, the journey's not over, and when I tell you I think about it weekly, I do. And it's just someone's got to kick me in the butt and say, hey, go do this, because you're not too late.
Yeah. What's the next step?
Yeah. Just what's the next step?
That's literally what our sermon was about this last week.
Really?
And I mean, I think there were so many good takeaways, but we should set like a timeline, or even by the end of the year, that gives like 10 months, and be like, okay, putting one video out there, like making one step that is scary, because something like your voice, like your singing voice, that's very vulnerable to put that out there, because it feels like if somebody's judging it, it's you. So it's like it feels like, oh, this is so attached to me, whereas maybe if something like you're creating, you can kind of be like, I'm gonna like try again. But with your voice, it's like, this is my voice, whether you like it or not. So it's a very vulnerable thing to put that out there. But yeah, like Mary said, like we got so many compliments on our jingle and so many things. And I mean, it's funny because if you've followed us for a while, like even like our choir days, it's like kind of LOL, thinking back to the fact that we all LOL. Did that. But I think for you, like this year, we can kind of hold you accountable, like in a hopefully not in a scary way, but just in a
no,
like
it's not
a good
scary
way.
way. It's not a scary way, and I think I've been able to kind of coast through life and like not tell people about it, so that I know that they don't like ask me about it. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be mocked for it,
because then it's just in my head, and then I have nobody like holding me accountable for it. It's just like you have like this little secret, and then if no one knows your secret, then you're safe.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't.
You don't take.
Oh my gosh!
But you know what?
My lower back is a little
also
sweaty.
don't miss any shots if you don't take
I
any
know,
shots.
yeah,
That's true. Then you're just playing it safe.
it's so metaphoric because when I played basketball, I did not shoot the ball
Ooh.
because I didn't want to miss.
Yeah.
Yes. But I was such a good supporting cast member. I love to help people out and I love doing this and that. But it was like when it came to shooting that ball, I didn't really want to. But when I would shoot, I wasn't horrible at it. It's just everyone's looking at you and you got to nail it.
Mm.
And what if you don't nail it? But also,
So
why does
what?
it matter?
Yeah.
So what?
So then,
the like let them theory. I feel like it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent's like a so what? Because it won't.
Yeah.
But so what? Okay. Which is funny because we had very similar questions. So I did have to do a little beep, 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 beep. Which is crazy.
Yeah,
We're
that's
just
good.
so in sync.
Yeah.
That was good. Thank you.
So I love that. That was a good question. Mine to you, Casey, is what is something you wish other people understood about you? Or I guess what is the most misunderstood thing about you?
Okay. Fun. You guys totally know this. My level of sarcasm and my facial expressions are so misleading to people. Like if you only know me from my voice, I have a little bit of a lower resonance. I don't always have a ton of inflection in my voice. If I'm just like speaking to somebody, I can. But if I'm just having a casual conversation, I mean, like I would say my purest form of a voice is literally talking to you guys on here. That's my purest form of a voice. And if you don't know me and you don't know like I would say I'm kind of like a witty, bantery person, but like I expect you to kind of pick up on it. I'm not like, don't worry, I'm just joking. I kind of just like say it and then people either like catch on.
Yeah.
Or they don't. And then they're like, oh, she's a jerk. Or like, oh, she hates me.
Is that what you've gotten a lot?
Oh, yeah.
People assume you don't like them because
and
of
a lot
that.
of like a lot of intimidation. Like, oh, you were so intimidating. I couldn't talk to you. So like fix your face. Hey, maybe you should smile a little bit more. Those types of comments.
What's I guess the message then you would want to say to them?
Honestly, I love talking to people. I have so much fun like asking people their stories and like who they are. And I may seem scary, but like please come up to me and say hi. Like
come say hi to Kay. She's not scary.
Say hi. And like I think once you talk to me, like once people talk to me, I have heard like, oh, you're a lot easier to talk to than I expected. But
just give her some animal crackers.
I was gonna say that.
I'm starving. Someone give me some food. Honestly, get me a coffee. I'll be your best friend forever. Then you can't get rid of me.
Casey won't stop yapping then.
No, I won't. But no, I mean, you guys know this. I love to talk. Like we could we sit and we just blah, 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 blah for a long time.
I mean, I almost think that was my first impression of you too was, oh, I'm intimidated. But sometimes I confuse intimidation just with self-confidence and like sometimes that makes me because maybe I lack in that area. And so while I'm naturally like I am chatty as well, like sometimes I read it wrong just because of the exterior. It's like, no, I'm actually walking with like a confidence and it's not aggression or it's not like intimidation. It's just I am my person, kind of take it or leave it.
I think that's a great way of putting it. I definitely I think I'm confident in my communication skills and I'm confident in certain topics that I talk about. And I would say it's hard to get me like scattered, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that.
So I would say I'm like a fairly confident person, which can come off as like unapproachable, maybe.
Yeah. But Casey's approachable, so come approach her.
Approach me.
Approach her.
Thanks, Kiara.
That was a good one. Okay, my next question. What is a friendship or a relationship that has deeply changed you?
Oh.
I like that.
And there's a right answer, and it better be me. Just kidding.
So
This is a test.
obviously your guys's, but I'm gonna go in a different direction because that's too obvious.
Yeah.
So my best friend from home, Naomi, is a friendship, a relationship, is someone that I literally wouldn't be who I am today without. I had a really hard freshman and sophomore year. I wasn't necessarily fitting in super well. I had a couple people that just weren't being super kind to me. And so I, along with a lot of like hormonal issues, ew. Anyway, I was lost. I was a shell of a person. I didn't have any confidence at all. So a lot of confidence I do have today is built up over the years. It's not something that I just always naturally had, or there's been phases of my life where I've lost it. But Naomi helped me find that level of confidence again. And honestly, when it comes to having confidence, it's not necessarily like I've gained confidence. You start to care less about things, which ends up making you confident. So she's a grade older than me. So she was a junior. I was a sophomore. Her and I have known each other literally our whole lives. Like when I say that, we have a picture together when I was like 5 and she was 6.
I love that.
I wouldn't say we ever really got super, super close until she was a junior and I was a sophomore. And I went to a really small school. You guys know this if you've been listening for a while. If you don't, I had 36 people in my class. Her class had about 25, something like that. And when you don't get along with people in your class that's that small, there's not really a ton of options to turn to. And so she was, she had no idea what was going on with like, you know, kind of a little bit of bullying going on with me. And she just was like, you're Casey. Like, I've known you my whole life. Like, why are you acting like you're less than, or you're like not allowed to be here? Quit it. Just be here. And so she invited me to things. She was like she was my person. I was at her house all the time. She would come over to my house all the time. And you guys, she's been at like so many significant moments in my life. She came to my Heston graduation.
We've met her several times.
She's just always there. It's like when there's a big event in my life, Naomi's probably there.
Yeah.
And she's someone who almost kind of grounds me back to reality. It's funny because her and Bryce are very, very similar. She's like kind of in a way like kind of the female version of Bryce. She's also an accountant. LOL.
No way. I didn't know that.
She's a stay-at-home mom now, but she's an accountant. And so she's very analytical. She's very common sense. And she just like, I remember I would say like, oh, like, woe is me and blah, blah, blah. And she'd be like, why? And then you have to
put
be
her
like,
in her place.
Oh, yeah, why? She's like, who said that? Like, who said that about you to make you feel that way? And I'm like, well, no one really said anything. It's just kind of like the way that I'm like feeling. And she's like, okay, well, I feel this way about you. And then you just have to sit with that reality of like, oh, okay. So it doesn't matter what these people are thinking or what I'm possibly making up in my head. This person has cared for me and grounded me in reality and truth that I am exactly who I'm supposed to be. And she's never changed. She's the most consistent person of my entire life. And yeah, she's a real one. She has changed me. Yeah, she's an OG. She has changed me profoundly and definitely made me the person I am today. So shout out Naomi.
That's so sweet.
Gnomes.
Does she listen? Is she a supporter?
You know what? She has
an IBFer.
She has 3 kids. And
oh my gosh, already?
Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah, 3 kids, and she's a few episodes behind. Let's just say that.
That's fair. That's fair.
This episode is really for people who don't have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's also fair.
But her and I talk daily. So she definitely is up to date on my life. And I'll tell her that I gave her a little shout out and she'll be like, oh. So
be in the corner. Oh.
Yeah. So that's my gnomes.
Great. We love you, Naomi.
Mhm.
We really do.
She's my other best friend. You know, like
Yeah,
everyone
the
has
other
like
one.
the other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's the other.
Totally.
Mhm. My next one is, what is a grudge you have been holding on to that you need to release?
You are nasty. You are nasty.
That's a good one.
Hot seat for take
I
the
have
shirt
one
off,
that
case.
I have one that I need to. I'm like over here
Okay.
feeling myself. I have one that immediately comes to mind, and I think you guys would know this one too. I had a volleyball coach in my life. I'm not going to say where.
Okay.
He made it. Oh my gosh.
He made it?
Who
Yeah,
did he
okay.
mate with?
Who did he mate with?
Do we need to
need
call
to
the
know. Air it on the pod. Air it on the pod.
He made me resent the sport of volleyball. He made me question myself. He made me believe I wasn't a good leader. Everything that I had been praised for basically my entire life of doing really well in, specifically in volleyball, it felt like he was like personally attacking all of those things. And I have never felt so unworthy playing the sport that I have so much knowledge in and so much confidence in. So many times I still I think of this person because I promise myself he's a coach that I never want to be. Yeah. So I think back on all of the times that he did something that made me feel this specific way, or all of the empty promises I received that were not fulfilled. And I really, really try to make sure my words never convey what was conveyed to me in that particular time in my life. And while there's times when I know I can think back on that, I'm like, this is only going to make me a better person, I also have to let that go, and I have to become my own person, and I have to become my own style of a coach, my own style of as a mentor to these girls that I'm coaching. And I think for a long time, I almost just was like riding off of this anger to be a better coach, rather than like, hey, do you like what you're doing? Like, are you coaching because it's a passion of yours and not because you're just trying to prove somebody wrong?
Right.
And in a lot of ways, I would say I have healed from that situation. If I were to run into this particular person, would I say, hey, how are you? No, I would not. And so that's where the question of, have I completely let it go, comes into play. I mean, that's what you're freaking asking me right now, right? I don't know. Like, certain parts of me have healed, but I also feel like if I were to see him and if I were to have a completely honest conversation with him, there's some things that I feel like I would need to say and get off my chest, because I don't ever want him to treat anyone the way that I was treated. Yeah. I think. Yeah. So I would say if anything is unresolved, I feel like I didn't stick up for myself and for future me's during that situation.
If you did, okay, this is like part 2. If you did have the chance to talk to him, what would you need to say to make it resolve?
I think I would say, I think you need to change your expectations of what you think the perfect and the standard of a player is. I think you need to broaden your horizons, and I think you need to be open to the fact that the sport is evolving and the style of player you're looking for is not the same style that it maybe was 10 years ago. You need to be honest. You need to learn to be direct, but you also need to praise every single one of your players and let them know what they bring to the team beyond the court. Even if they are a huge component on the court, how are they as a human off the court, and what do you value about them as a person?
It's good.
And don't talk behind my back to other players.
That's so messed up.
Yeah. Like, don't just you're a coach. Your job is to grow and develop us
Know your
as
place.
women.
Right.
Don't air your laundry or anybody else's laundry out to anyone who is not in a position to be able to handle that information in a mature way.
Yeah.
Well, Casey, it's interesting because we actually have him on the line.
You're so
He's actually the fourth person that keeps popping up somehow.
On
That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Listeners, sometimes honestly, this hasn't been the case for months, maybe even over a year, but at the beginning we kept seeing a fourth guest in our
recording
studio.
in our waiting room, and we were like, who is that? And no one has
literally never
our link.
Never figured it out.
We don't know who they are.
This was the most bizarre thing ever, but anyway.
But we got them out and we're safe.
I know. We're fine. But no, I appreciate that answer because that's a very difficult place to be in.
That is such a good question.
Because we all have grudges too, and that's a big one.
It is, and I truly think, because there's been a couple of times that I've been really hurt in my life, but anytime I come back to something, that is the one that sticks in my head the most. Because there's other times you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was so pissed, but then I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But that's one that I'm like,
well,
I didn't say everything I needed
your
to say.
Identity too.
Yes,
it was like a matter
totally.
of your identity. Your identity was this volleyball player, a leader, and all of a sudden you were questioning all of that because of this one man's opinion.
Yeah. Ew. You're right.
Gross. Don't let him have that power.
I know.
That
You're
authority.
so right. You're so right.
He doesn't deserve that.
Okay. Quick mid check-in.
Yes.
Even for you guys as listeners. Are we doing okay? Am I doing all right? Is this going okay?
Great.
Oh my gosh, Case, this is great. This is good.
Awesome.
We're gonna keep it rolling. I think we have a couple more.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. What is something you once believed strongly, but you no longer do? If anything.
That I was fat growing up.
Okay. Yeah.
I truly, you guys, I cannot tell you how much conviction I'm saying this right now. I believe that I was the most obese person in my grade growing up.
I was a seventh grader.
I truly thought I was
makes me sad.
The biggest person in the world, which is so sad because I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh, you just weren't gangly and creepy like the rest of them.
You weren't you weren't 6 foot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know,
you were just a kid. You hadn't gone through puberty and figuring out your body.
I remember this is so sad. I distinctly remember my mom came up and took a picture of me once. It was a Saturday morning. I'm sitting eating a bowl of cereal watching cartoons, and I remember she took a picture of me and I was wearing one of those long nightgowns thing. It was had a big cartoon on the front or something, and I remember she took a picture and I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, I bet my legs look so big in that. I was in 3rd grade.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
I thought that too of myself. So.
Yeah. And I remember we got weighed in elementary school. I don't know. Did you guys ever remember? They would come and just do wellness checks on you.
Still in my physical. They're I'm like, don't even. Okay. Spare me.
So for example, I look back on pictures when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, I definitely was I was chubby, but I was not fat. I had a full...
It was little kid chubby.
It was little kid chubby, okay? And then once I got to 4th, 5th grade, most of it was... I was still a little bit chubby, but I wasn't I was never fat.
Right.
When you think of obese children in America now, I did not even come close to
that ain't even close.
But I think where this all came from is, and I think I've told this story before as well, but I was in 3rd grade and I was on a pogo stick and I was wearing shorts and a boy asked me why I jiggled when I was on the pogo stick.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's just those things stick with you.
They stick with you, and it's so sad because I was like, okay, well, this is horrible. And honestly, you guys, I had a rockin' body when I look back on it now, and I'm so sad that I didn't appreciate it more.
I know.
Because I've seen pictures of myself and I'm like, why did I think that? And I just had a very different body type than girls around me. I have hips. Like, you know, people are like, "Oh, my hips." I'm like, "No, I actually like I legitimately like,
You're like,
I
I
have
have
hips."
Mhm.
And I just curvy gal. Now, I've had a baby. Things are different, and now I'm looking back on life and I'm like, I should have shut my little trap, because having a baby changes your body in more ways than you will ever understand until you have one. Biggest blessing of my life. That's just what I have to continue to tell myself every day. But I believed the lie. We also grew up in literally the most toxic era of skinniness in the early 2000s.
Oh,
Low-rise
for
jeans.
sure.
Low-rise
crop
jeans with a body
tops.
like mine, it just does not physically work. And I
It doesn't
thought
help that Hollister, like, their
it doesn't.
sizes, like,
They were
you could have been a 24, but in
insane.
reality, you were a size 2. So it just didn't help.
Yeah. So I think honestly the hardest part for me was that I was wearing bigger size jeans than other girls. I also have a large butt.
You have a massive
Okay.
trunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
That those what?
You have a massive
You do. You have a big butt.
Absolute
I have a big
dump
butt.
truck.
Like, I've had a big butt my whole life, and I think a lot of other people don't have the size of my butt. And so I could get jeans up till a certain point, but then there's a point you can't get those jeans up anymore because you just can't. I'm not trying to like, oh my gosh, look at me, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, true, these are the facts that I'm telling you.
I'm gonna post your butt on our story.
Okay, thanks. And I just thought if I didn't wear the same size jeans as my friends, then that meant I was fat. That was just like another lie. Obviously, that's just not true, because I remember I was wearing size 6 or 8 when I was in 7th grade, and I was like, obviously I'm fat because I'm wearing size 6 or 8 jeans.
That's so sad.
And my friends are wearing 2s.
And my friends are wearing 2s. And
yeah.
Naomi,
double
I mean,
zeros.
I love Naomi
yeah.
to literal death. She wore 00 her entire life.
Yeah.
So it's just really hard. And I just, where I'm from, no one looks like my body type. So it was also very hard to not look around and see anybody else who looked like me at all. So yeah, that's a lie that I totally believed my entire life. And I don't think I didn't know until like probably now. Probably like after having a baby and like looking back on life and being like, oh, okay, that's too bad.
Like, I'm not. I wasn't.
What a wasted life.
The amount of mental energy.
Yeah. It took to wake up and look at myself every day and say, you're fat.
Ugh. I hate middle school.
How does that affect how you look at your body now?
I wouldn't say I'm like I wouldn't say I'm like thrilled right now with my body, but it's not because of the way it is. It's because I had a baby.
Yeah.
Like, I'm able to objectively look at my body now and like be like, oh, that looks like that because my ribs had to expand so that my stomach could get bigger, and my abs ripped a literal part. So that's why they're probably not as strong and why my stomach's not as toned as I prefer it to be.
Yeah.
And I also know that having kids requires sacrifice in more ways than one. Like, people talk about like, I don't get to do what I want, but sacrifice is also like your body is not ever the same. It can like come back to normal-ish, but you lose that. And so it's definitely been a battle, but at the same time I'm like, it's just a body.
Yeah. Everyone has one. That's super relatable. I feel like a lot of our listeners will be able to hear that and
So if you feel that
probably
way,
say same.
Please. So there's an audio that's trending right now. That's Moira Rose saying, take 1,000 naked pictures of yourself.
I've thought about that so much in my postpartum journey of like
naked pictures.
Take pictures or just like value
like it's just
what your body looks
what your
like.
body looks like before you have kids.
Yes.
Oh, see, I took it
like,
literally.
Because she says like you'll look back with much kinder eyes you know, and like even my how I looked like 2 years ago. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Mm-hmm.
like I thought I had a little baby pooch then, and I have a literal baby pooch now because there was a baby in this pooch,
Right.
You know,
Right.
And you know, we shouldn't look like how we looked like 2-3 years ago. That means we're not growing old. We're not.
Our
We're
bodies
not
have
like
never been this age before.
Yeah.
right.
You know,
They're doing it for the first time. There,
Mhm.
like, please, like
I know.
it's doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I think we do need to be kinder to it.
yeah, I agree.
I mean, I remember me and my high school friend Emma would always say that too. Like, look at what we looked like in high school, and then we had to be like, let's stop looking at
Mhm.
that because why? We're just gonna go into like we're comparing ourselves, pre-puberty to late 20s.
As, like, a
That's not
26
helpful.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
actually gross. Actually,
Actually,
Right.
you shouldn't look like that.
Actually,
Mhm.
get that
I-
out of here.
it's more like I actually kind of want to look like a woman.
yeah,
I don't want to look like
Right,
a
I
girl.
don't wanna look
Right.
ill. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be a hard left turn, and I'm gonna break this up with two kind of funny little like back-to-back ones
Okay.
because one of them is something that we always ask somebody who's going through the hiring process on our team. And
Oh my gosh! Wait,
it's
is
stupid.
this an interview? Am I
This
getting
is an
hired?
interview, actually. But
Okay.
we kind of do this kind of thing where we put them on the hot seat, and we started saying 2 questions, and I don't know how it got started, but every time we asked them, and then it kind of got like, maybe we shouldn't ask this because it's a church, kind of a question.
Okay.
But I think this one is still fun, and it can be relevant. I do
Okay.
have to share a story about someone we did interview though, because it was crazy, and we did not hire them because of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What is it?
And it's like kind of lighthearted, but what is the most illegal thing you've ever done?
That's funny. And so you
Right?
didn't hire the person because of their answer.
Okay, well, I'll give you their answer and then I'll have you go. But one of the guys, it was gonna be a developer, and we already kind of had some question marks. But typically, we'll have like a team time, and it'll just be funny and blah blah blah. Getting to him, we asked this, and he's like, "Oh, let me think about it." And he's like, "Oh no, actually, yeah, I have one." He's like, "I like." My mom was really pissing me off like in 8th grade, and I like it's either attempted to kill her or like thought about killing her. And I don't know.
No way.
Honestly,
He's
to
dead
this day,
straight. He's dead
he
said that.
said that dead straight, and we're all like, you know, where you're trying, and I'm kind of the
Thank you for
one
your
to
time.
like kind of make it light or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know how to hard
you
left.
can't.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, haha. Okay, so what's your
That's
favorite fruit of the
crazy.
spirit? You know,
What's your favorite fruit of the spirit?
Probably
Yeah.
peace, right? Is it peace?
Peace, clearly
Patience,
self-control.
Mm.
All of them. No, it was
Oh my
wild.
gosh.
It was,
Wow.
and again, I
That's
can't remember if
funny.
it was like I tried to or thought about trying to. Either way, we are like, nope, not our guy.
Nope, don't
That's
want
Murder,
hilarious.
not on the
potential
list. So
murderer on our team.
anyway, hope
Yeah.
that's not your story. So, so yeah, what's the most illegal thing you've ever done?
You know, I'm pretty vanilla. You guys know I haven't really done anything that crazy. I'm more of a collection of of very small things that people just wouldn't do because they don't want to get in trouble, rather than like, I broke in and stole money.
Okay.
I'm a movie hopper. I'll go to multiple
Oh,
movies and
okay.
I don't feel bad about it. I remember my mom, she wanted to test the grapes, so she ate some grapes in the store, and then she gave me one, and I was like, okay, I'm an accomplice to this. But like,
The police are
know,
coming after me. Okay.
I drank underage. Don't do that, you guys.
Okay,
I'm
don't
probably
follow
not
in
going to
case
go
he's
into.
such a bad influence.
I don't need to
Oh
go
my
into
God.
further
You
detail about
what?
that. I know.
Gosh,
Oh
you
my
drink too?
gosh.
Okay, no.
Who Your friends sound really fun.
They sound. Yeah.
Wait, I am not
They
going to say who
sound
I
like
was with.
they're-
I'm not saying
Yep.
who I was with. You can't even torture it out of me. I won't even say.
Good.
It was you guys.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mom. Yeah.
Ew, sorry. This is so lame. This is
No,
a fun
that's okay.
answer.
I didn't know if there was like some crazy story. Okay, well if that's it, I'll do the
You
part
guys
2
know
then.
that there's. I'm not that crazy. I'm not that.
like you
fun.
didn't like not pay a speeding
Low-key
ticket.
vandalism at Heston. We like threw bikes in the trees.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Subtle
Well,
vandalism.
we didn't do it because we're little girls, but the guys we were
Loitering?
with threw bikes in the trees.
We were like, yeah, oh, I stole a traffic cone.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay,
which
that's
is
a good one.
technically illegal.
Illegal. Look, my
Uh-huh.
hair is a heart right now.
Oh yeah,
Do you see it?
it?
Oh, wait, I
you
just
ruined it.
effed it up. Dang it! Oh, that's upsetting. Okay, well, the part 2.
Okay.
Love that answer. Is what's the most recent lie you've ever told?
Ooh, that's fun.
Ooh.
Oh, I lied and told Bryce we're only recording once this week. But then I'm gonna tell him that something came up and we need to record again tomorrow.
Was that an intentional lie or did you accidentally lie?
It was. I
think
so
if it's an accident, it doesn't
Giving
count.
So the
intentional.
accident. So last week we were gonna record you guys, just so you guys are in on this, and then we didn't actually end up recording. We ended up just talking. I didn't tell him that we didn't record
Off-air
an
combo.
episode that night.
Okay.
Because I didn't want him to be
Mad.
because Mira's still awake.
Yeah.
And so he has to take care of her, which
Yeah.
is not that big of a deal, you guys. Like, I want you to know my husband
You're
is
saying
totally
he
capable.
can't take
and
care of
he
you?
You
absolutely
think he hates his daughter?
yes. But I mean, like he just has to, like, it's usually around dinner time, so he has to, do a lot more things than just like sit with her for 2 hours while we record. So I didn't tell him the truth, and he still doesn't know. And I'm gonna be like, "Hey, can you bring the laptop tomorrow?" Which is an intentional lie and very, very obvious.
So it's really this podcast. That is
wait, you guys! I
bringing up
actually
lies.
have a really good one.
Okay. Let's hear it.
It's still about Bryce. It's more funny. So I saw a video of this couple on TikTok.
You told Bryce that his mustache looks good, and it really doesn't. I'm just kidding.
I actually really like it. Sorry,
No,
I
I also do
why.
too.
Okay.
It's
So I
easy
saw a
to hate
couple on TikTok, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna ask you 8 questions, and they're all like for the girls. Like, really, every girl knows these answers. I'm just want to see if you do." And so every question that she asked him, she pretended like it was the right answer, even if it wasn't.
I love this.
And
I
I
like
did
that.
this. I did this to Bryce, and I pretended that all of
Did
his
you
answers
record
were
it?
right, and I did record it.
Oh my
and
gosh, please post
I
this
haven't
on
told
TikTok.
him, I haven't told him yet, and he didn't know I was recording him. And
Does he really think that he knew
whole
everything?
past week he's been going, "Well, I'm 8 for 8, so I don't know what to tell you."
Stop. Okay, well, you need to ask him, and then we need to post it on the story.
I know.
Oh,
He's
please.
okay with
Yeah.
Oh, we
I'm
should
sure
have
he was
asked him
okay.
live on the
Amazing.
podcast.
Yeah. So I've been holding on to that for the past week, and he doesn't know, and he keeps like, "Well, I'm 8 for 8, so I don't know what to tell you."
Insane.
So
That's a good one, Case.
Yeah.
I need to see this. Oh my gosh.
I love to do little like pranks and stuff like that on him because it makes him feel good, but it's hilarious for me because
His
oh my
ego's
gosh, you
puffed
guys,
up
I
and
gotta
you're
tell you.
like-
So one of the questions I asked him was, one of the questions I asked him was, "What's a water line?"
Okay.
And he goes, "Oh, is it like when you're putting on
Okay.
eyeliner?"
Yes.
And he goes, "Is it like something to do when you're ovulating?" Like there's like, and I was like,
Not
no.
ovulating.
I was like, "There's no way you got that right." And he goes, Are you serious? Like, did I get that? I'm like, "Yes." Are you joking? And so the first 2 questions I
What?
asked him,
I'm
I
actually crying.
didn't get it recorded, but then I started secretly recording after that.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was like, okay,
That stuff
really
is
funny.
gold.
Yeah.
And then another thing is I asked him, like, how do you know if you're gold or silver jewelry? And he goes, well, if it goes with your outfit. And I was like, absolutely.
Wait,
Is
okay, kind of a good guess though.
I know it is a good guess.
That's a good guess.
But I almost called myself out because he was listening to our episode.
Yeah.
And then I had to kind of like backtrack a little bit. But he still doesn't know. So he
He
keeps
still
going
thinks
around
it's-
and going like, well, I'm 8 for 8, so I don't.
Wow.
I'm loving this so much.
Yeah, so that was a definite.
Oh,
lie
we
I
need-
told
that was a-
that
that
I-
was a
that I'm
definite
carrying
lie.
on.
I need to
so-
see this video.
Okay.
We're gonna just shoot him down.
I will post it, and then I think I'm gonna send him the video so he watches it on his phone, and then I'm gonna record his reaction to being dead
Lied to.
wrong.
Can't wait.
I think
Can't
he got
wait.
1 right. I think it was 1.
One.
Yeah.
Waterline when you're ovulating.
Waterline is
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
It's
Is
the
that like when
confidence.
you're
It's the
ovulating?
yeah.
I
Like
was like,
I'm
what-
confused
what
what he
would it even
really
mean?
means.
I don't like. Like,
Does
he's
he
like,
think
you
we're
know,
like
when you're
dripping?
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway,
Bryce.
Poor Bryce.
I mean,
about
bless
to
him.
just be
Bless
0
him,
for
but-
8. 1 for 8.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
that waterline segues very nicely into my next question,
Okay.
which is, how do you think you've changed the most in the past 5 years?
So
Disgusting.
dumb.
Well, the obvious one is becoming a mom. That's changed me the most. But I would say another thing that has changed me profoundly, the past, I'll just say a couple of years, we've been going through some different things in my family, and I have learned that grace is never earned and it needs to be freely given. Every story has two sides. Every person deserves to be heard. Every person deserves to be forgiven. And no matter what I'm going through in life, there's something that I can thank God for and blessings that I have in my life. So I would say probably 5 years ago, Bryce and I are a year into marriage. I'm probably selfish. I'm probably expecting things of Bryce. I don't know. When you're newly married and figuring each other out, and you kind of are like, okay, well, you do this and I do this in our marriage, and this is my role and this is your role. And I think you just are more concerned of like, what are we going to do this weekend and how are we going to have fun? And I wasn't very career driven at that point. I think I was just like having fun at my job and not really thinking of like, okay, cool, I can advance and like become, higher up and have a professional career. Which I succeeded in the past 5 years with that adventure. And I think I was just carefree, and I don't think I took life very seriously. Not necessarily in like a bad way, but just in a very like, I'm young and I'm acting like I'm young type of way.
Yeah.
And I think with every year in the past 5 years, I've learned that the older I get, the less I know and the more I need to continue to grow. And that rhymed, and I didn't mean to.
I loved it.
This
But
is a
anyway,
rhyming
there it is.
podcast.
If it rhymes, that means it must be true.
Right. I mean, write that down. That's a quote you want to remember for life.
Taylor Swift, if you're listening, please use it for a song.
What do you mean if? Definitely.
Right. Duh. So sorry.
I think being a mother has being a mother.
She's a mother.
I'm a mother. I think has created so much compassion in my heart. I maybe have been more on the harsh side in my life, or quick to not always give people the benefit of the doubt. But I feel like because of various things that have happened in my family and being a mom, I'm like, okay, let's figure out what this person is going through, rather than like immediately jumping to, well, they're crazy, or like they don't know what they're talking about, or well, I heard this about them, so I'm not even going to mess with them. I want to hear what they have to say, and I'm happy to be patient and figure out who that person is individually before I decide to judge or anything like that, which I think is a goal of mine that I've always wanted in my life. But I feel like this past year I've really learned that a lot more. But I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. Praise God. Praise God.
Thank God. That's crazy. A lot of life has
happened in the past 5 years. Yeah.
That's a good question. And I have one more.
Okay.
My last one. I don't know, Mary, how many you have, but perfect. Okay. So say tonight you were writing a letter to your future self, whatever time frame that is, you can decide. What are some things that you would want to include?
Did you say to your future self or past self?
Future.
She said future,
Future.
which is
Said
actually
future.
an interesting take because I've never thought about that before.
No.
But it's funny
Casey
because we also
down the
wrote
line.
letters to ourselves at church 6 months from now, so we can mail it to ourselves and kind of talk
Oh,
about
cute.
like, progress that we want to make in life. So I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay.
I want to tell myself, I hope that you're continuing on the journey to being bold in your relationships and speaking truth into people's life even when it's not easy. I hope that you continue to bake bread.
Yeah.
Bake bread and break
I
bread.
hope I hope you're baking and breaking bread.
Wait, that's kind of a cute little thing. Bake and
that.
break bread.
And I also hope that you're still like valuing your children and you're not thinking back so much on how they've grown that it makes you sad, but watching them grow and be proud and kind of, because it's really easy to get stuck like when they were like 3 months old, they were like doing this or and I even catch myself now being like, I want her to stop growing. And in a sense, yeah, you don't want your kids to grow up, but also it is like imperative that she grows up because she needs to go and impact the world in the way that she's supposed to, in the way that God has planned for her. So I hope that I am not holding her back. So I'm writing to myself, I hope you're not holding your children back and you're pushing them and you're not letting them get comfortable and that you're, you know, I think my mom was so nice to me. I look back on it and I'm like, she was so nice to me to a fault where I was able to kind of be like, mom, don't worry about it. Like, and I was able to, you know, kind of like finesse my way out of like the hard stuff. And I don't want to be too nice to my kids in the sense where I'm not pushing them to greatness. And my mom did in her own special way. You guys know my mom. She's never going to push you to beyond a point of discomfort where I maybe need to take my kids there. If they're similar to me, like, let's go back to that first question. Why aren't you doing what your dream is and why aren't you pursuing it? Because I have never held myself accountable to that. And so how can I set that up for my future kids and not let that continue to be an issue? So
break that pattern with you.
Yeah.
That's good, Case.
Wow. Well, I'm excited to see what your future self is like.
I hope she's cool. I hope she's still like.
I hope she's still around. Like, sorry, not still around. That sounded so morbid. Whoa. I'm sorry. I meant like still around, like this podcast and stuff. Do you think we're gonna have this in 5-10 years? Sorry, that's so morbid.
I don't know. I don't think of like years from now and be like, oh, we'll definitely be done with the podcast. I think it's just like
me neither.
It is just a natural thing that will just either continue or we'll move in a different direction. But there's a lot of value here, I think, for people. So
I think so too.
So.
You can cut that last part out if you want.
No, I want people to think that you want me to die.
No, got. You know when you're like, it was better in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Beep. Okay, this is my last one.
Okay.
All right. If you knew you had only 1 year left to live, how would you spend it?
I would have necessary conversations with people that need to happen yesterday that I've been holding back on. And you guys know what that is. And you guys know what that is. If you know in my personal life, then you know what those are. If you don't, then don't worry about it because it doesn't matter. I needed to be bolder and I needed to do it sooner. And there's no time to wait. So that's the first and foremost thing. Secondly, I've never been to Disneyland as an adult, and I'm not like a Disney adult, but I think it would be fun. I know that was
Wait, I want to go because I've never gone.
And I'm gonna get a fast pass.
Either.
Like I think I'm gonna spend all that money to do like the skip line thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll do like a Disney princess makeover or something.
Okay.
I don't
Ball
know.
out.
I'll just like go all in.
Honestly, if you're gonna go,
If I'm gonna go, let's go.
Ball out.
Go all
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
Okay.
I will spend as much time with my family as physically possible. And I will I think I will be the person that I always want to be because there's no time left to become that person. I know that's not really like that. I can't think of like a specific like I would go here and do this. Like I think everything that I would do, I would just be that girl of who I've always emulated. I would have no fear because there's nothing holding me back because death is already inevitable, which it already is. It is anyway,
but you know.
But I know.
Yeah.
I think I would try to go to Hawaii. I think I would
I'm coming with.
Okay, cool. I think I would go to Europe. Bryce and I have always wanted to go on a World War II tour of like different places.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool. I think I would watch. You guys are gonna think I'm so stupid, but I would watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy again, extended director's cut.
That's insane. That's gonna take the rest of your year.
Bucket list, literally.
Your whole year is that.
Oh, they're so good.
See Wicked again.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I would listen to a lot of music. I would listen to a lot of music, and I think I'd put myself out there and just be like, "Hey, I'm dying, so if you want to do some charity work, let's get together."
It's like a year-long Make-A-Wish, really.
Yeah,
just like,
really.
Anything I want,
Mm-hmm.
give it to me.
Yeah,
Because I'm dead.
because I'm dying anyway. Like I'm living Kiara's dream, which is
Please, it's not my dream. My gosh.
yeah, but I think I would just be bold, and I think I would just like not care, but not in like I don't care, like everyone sucks, and like more of like, what do I have to lose because I'm already losing it all anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
like that.
Yeah, I mean technically a year is kind of a long time, you know, you just have to plan it out, but I think I would live with an attitude that I've always wanted to live with, which maybe isn't that fun of an answer, but
No,
hey,
that's great.
start living now.
I know.
I like that.
Thanks for those questions, you guys. I really appreciated
officially
this.
cool off case.
Yeah.
Cool off.
That
Go
was
get
really-
a bucket of water.
That was really
I liked
profound.
that.
That was really profound. Thank you guys.
That was nice and deep, and I learned some
appreciate the
things.
questions.
Answering and for opening up.
Yeah.
I know.
For Mary Brings Down the Mood, I have a would you rather tonight.
Ooh.
Okay.
Listen closely because they're a little bit in depth, okay? So
Okay.
two
Oh, boy.
options. Would you rather live in the tundra, but every single person you love lives close by? Okay?
Okay.
So like your best friends, your family, everyone you
Mhm.
love is close by, but it's freezing
Oh my
cold all the
gosh.
time.
That
I
is
was
like-
just about to
that is-
ask,
Or-
What is
a
a tundra?
Oh, okay.
You're
I was
so
like, is this the desert or am I in an igloo? Which
Oh
one?
You're in an
God,
igloo.
you're so
There's
funny.
polar
Cool.
bears, very
You are
cold.
so funny.
Okay.
Or live in an absolute dream destination, beach, warm, but not too hot, absolutely perfect weather, but you only have like two close friends live nearby.
And the first one is your family?
Everyone you love.
Oh, everyone you love. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I hate this question because
Yeah, this is
if
really
there's
rude.
anyone in the world who hates being cold,
I thought of you.
you are
whenever
talking to the
I
queen.
made up with this.
Yeah. But I also love my family. You bastard.
You little
You're welcome.
hoe. I have my answer.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with tundra. I don't even want to say it, but I'm going with tundra because you guys will be there.
Oh,
And that's important.
beneath the coast.
That's important to me.
Live from Antarctica.
It's
It's been forever.
Shaky voices, snowing.
So
Your
I
husbands
got
are
hypothermia
fishing.
again last night.
I
Oh, so
frostbite and had to get my
annoying.
arm cut off.
What's new with you? We could make it cute. I know. I'm gonna have to go with the first one as well, only because like 2 friends would be fun, and like I love a dream, but I feel like it would get sad after a while.
Yeah.
And really, in reality, I want to be happy, even if I'm literally freezing. So I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Tundra too.
Mhm.
You guys are absurd. I'm picking warm weather. I'm
No,
just
you're
kidding.
Please.
not.
I'm kidding.
She's like, and my 2 are
No, the warmth
my
of
mom.
you guys' love are gonna keep me
Gross.
warm in the tundra.
There we
which
go.
is the cold, Kiara.
Thank you.
I mean,
Mhm.
my house is literally going to be like next to your home because I'm not walking any further than I need to in that
actually
tundra.
attached garage.
Yeah.
Style.
Townhomes
absolutely.
in the
Townhomes.
tundra.
Apartment complex.
Yeah. So yes, but I don't want to, but I'll do it for you guys.
I'll do it for you guys.
And then
too.
maybe we can vacation like one time a year.
Are we
in
allowed
a
to
nice
vacation?
place. Can we do
you
that?
Are, we are. I'm
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying it's allowed.
Thank
The
you.
Would
Okay,
you rather
perfect.
czar is saying
We'll
it's okay.
thaw out for 1 month and then get back to it.
Oh,
Or
a
how about
whole
we just
month is
leave?
Amazing.
How about we just like leave
Okay, so we start in the tundra and then we actually leave
for a
for
month?
Hawaii.
Go to Sarasota, Florida.
We go to Der Dutchman to eat
Dutchman.
and
Honestly, I could use a peanut butter pie right about now.
That's so funny.
I need that buffet.
I want it.
Oh. Hey, well, anyway, you guys, thanks for listening to me. I had a lot to say, but I really appreciate you listening, and I appreciate these ladies for pushing me because this is not only the hot seat to figure out who we are, but it's also a moment for us to kind of look inside ourselves and
Yeah.
to think deeply. So if any of these questions resonate with you, send us an email at itsbeenforever podcast@gmail.com. Or is it pod?
It's been
It's
forever
pod.
My bad, you guys.
Mhm.
It's been foreverpod@gmail.com because I know that these questions strike a chord with somebody out there, and I would really love to know what you think. Or maybe some of my answers helped kind of figure out what you're thinking in life or anything like that. We want to know about your experiences, or you can send us a DM on Instagram. You can send us a DM on TikTok. We are on all platforms, so let us know, and we'd love to hear from you. Episodes come out every Wednesday. You can find us wherever podcasts are sold. This is free. I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait. I had a moment. Like, is that
Wonder
right?
Plus subscribers can listen to episodes
Yeah.
of It's Been Forever early. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh,
Actually,
Supercast.
on our Patreon, you can hear those really
Yeah, on our
hot, steamy
Patreon.
questions that you actually really want to know the answer
And also
to.
topless pics. Sorry.
Just know that's not true.
That's actually
at
so
all.
Just know that's
incorrect.
literally no. Yeah, no, we appreciate you guys as always listening, supporting us. If you want to donate, to our Tundra home. I'll put my Venmo on the next slide. No, we love you guys. We're so thankful for you. And next week, I'm on the hot seat, so stay tuned for that. And then the week after is Mare, so we have a fun, exciting couple weeks. So stay tuned, and we love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
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 Bye.